Okay. Thank you, everyone. So we are a minute over now, that's our start time. So I'll probably get going. And yeah, see who joins as we go. So obviously, thank you very much, everyone, for joining the call. And yeah, I think today we want to talk about the 5 biggest member recruitment mistakes and how to use AI to avoid them. And really, from kind of our point of view, is kind of where AI fits as an enhancement to that member recruitment challenge that we all have. And it's not, it's not to replace kind of tried and tested methodologies and tried and tested tools. It's to kind of enhance that method, the kind of recruitment strategy that you might have. And just to say, in the chat, on the right-hand side, you should have a chat window, but also you have a Q&A kind of option, so you can ask questions, you can vote them up and down. So as we go through, feel free to drop questions in, and we will kind of try and cover those off at the end. Yeah, I can see one's already dropped in there already. So yeah, so feel free to drop questions in there as we go. Okay. So again, thank you for joining. My name's Chris. We're from Copper Bay Digital, and we are the member growth agency. We've been supporting organisations with member and customer acquisition since 2008, and we have a team of 18 across our offices in Swansea, Newport, Shropshire Way, and also in Mansfield, kind of where I am based. And also to say that we have our mission as a business is to help 10 million members realize a benefit of their membership. So we see ourselves as advocates of your members. We do, and we think that really helps position us and puts us in a great place to be the voice of your members, and also that which then allows us to work with you to implement the right strategies, the right procedures to increase that member recruitment and engagement and retention and all of those things. So today on the call is myself, Chris. I'm the MD of Copper Bay. And I've been implementing digital transformation for organisations for over 25 years now, and currently leading Copper Bay in supporting those membership organisations. We also have Mary on the call. Do you want to introduce yourself, Mary?
Yeah, so I'm Mary. I'm a digital marketing executive, and I specialise in paid ads and search engine optimisation, helping to drive growth for businesses online. This is through capturing immediate demand and creating sustainable longer-term success.
Brilliant, thank you, Mary. And we've also got Joe on the call.
Yeah, pleased to meet you. I've got over 20 years experience in digital strategy, looking how businesses and membership organizations in particular grow, working backwards into marketing strategies and delivering omni-channel approaches to growth as well. So if you're on this call in your membership organization, I hope I've done my job well so far. So yeah.
Cool, thank you. So kind of to start off with kind of why we need to review that recruitment strategy. So your organization may have many decades of experience recruiting members, but as you know, the world around you is constantly changing, and so should your recruitment strategy. So member subscription still remains a larger source of income for most membership organizations. They do 56% based on a kind of 2022 report from MemberWise. And I can't imagine that's massively changed since then, even though everyone's always striving to reduce that kind of percentage. And you're always constantly needing to evolve your membership value perception to meet the current needs. Again, because people's situations, people's challenges are changing, you need to kind of change the perception of what that value, what value you offer to solve their problems. And potential members have many more options to spend their money effectively with either direct or indirect competition. So you're always having to fight for that kind of idea of them putting their money your direction. There's always different places to put your money. Economy challenges kind of relates to the previous one. Obviously, economy kind of makes things difficult with regards to convincing people to commit to any sort of long-term agreement and membership. And then subscription fatigue. Generally speaking, in our personal lives and our professional lives, there's lots of kind of annual payments, monthly payments. There's lots of things so people always question, do I want to kind of sign up to something which has a longer term commitment? And then AI challenges themselves. AI, as much as we're going to talk today around how it can be beneficial and almost kind of a savior to take you to that next level, it also creates its own challenges because it's that kind of, is your membership still relevant? If all your kind of if it's about content and advice, they're the levels that kind of AI chatbots and things like that are trying to step into. So yeah, how do you make yourself you still make your organization just as relevant and future-proof? That we could do a whole presentation on that one topic alone, but again, it just shows that it's a challenge that needs to be reviewed. And because this is a talk around AI, we always like to kind of AI is obviously a kind of contentious subject with regards to data and where that data lives and who has access to that data. And again, we're not going to go through that fully in here, but we're fully aware that this is the conversation that we have internally all the time and with our clients as well. So yeah, understanding your data sharing agreements and data usage policies, especially for training those AI models, is something that you should be looking into before you seriously commit to any particular AI platforms. Many tools are US based, but so are you happy with where your data is stored? Again, GDPR and all those types of things still take an effect. And obviously, I guess this is a general comment, just speak to your IT. Obviously, I'm sure these are challenges you're talking about internally already. It is, but I just kind of wanted to mention that because I know that kind of data usage of data policies and all of that are always concerns. And even though we're not aiming to cover all of that today, it is important to us. And I just wanted to kind of finish off on one point on regards to kind of data is considering using private AI models. So where possible, so public AI models, such as like ChatGPT, obviously an extremely large kind of model with billions of data points, but you can actually have more compact, more smaller models that are actually private and in a walled garden effectively. So just a concept for you to consider when looking at different AI options. So going forward, getting those caveats out of the way, I just wanted to kind of, yeah, let's get started on what those 5 biggest recruitment mistakes are and how to use AI. Joe, did you want to cover that first one?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Mistake number 1 is targeting everyone. I think today, those who are on the webinar, we have reached out to people who are in membership organizations because this is a membership presentation. So lots of membership organizations often attempt to convey the same message to everyone. I'm not saying all of you, some of you are quite sophisticated in that, but they usually run broad campaigns to, for example, 25 to 65-year-olds on LinkedIn. They rely on assumptions. Real growth comes from understanding who your ideal member profile is. So something, an IMP is something which is really important when understanding your marketing message and who you're targeting. I think it's really important to get to grips with who your ideal members are. We've actually, and because that was so important, I think we've developed an in-house tool called Member Metrics. For that reason, is to identify high-value members and clusters, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. And what that allows us to do is tailor LinkedIn campaigns or any kind of campaign to personas and behavior, rather than a spray and pray approach, which I've said there. The spray and pray approach is very much over. Years ago, I know some of the membership organizations are very prestige, used to put a piece in a newspaper article or send 1,000 leaflets to a certain demographic, never understanding who they were, where they were getting, or where they were going to be members to. So that spray and pray approach is really something that AI will take to the next level. I think then, using AI to write precise and persuasive messaging per segment as well. So AI can understand your segments based on the data. Member Metrics can tell you who your high value customers are, what segments they are, what personas they are. And it very much stops guessing. I'm very much a data person, and data allows you to guide your targeting strategy. Emotion over data isn't the way to go. I think they will be a good member. I think this. Very much let the data tell the story and let AI then enhance that. So if you go to the next slide, Chris, please. Yeah. So example of AI targeting everyone. We can use AI in lots of different ways to understand who you should be targeting. To start off, we can use it to enrich your CRM with behavior and firmographic data. Our Member Metrics tool then can plug into the CRM or any of your systems, your websites, your portals, and it can cluster your members based on value, engagement, and behavior. So what that means is you can ask Member Metrics, who are our most valuable customers, who are our most engaged customers, what are their demographics, what are their behaviors, what are their age range, what types of member areas do they visit in your portal, etc. And we can use that data then to create targeted personas based on real data. Using AI and machine learning, member metrics is being developed so that you can actually, this can all be automated as well. So, you can ask those questions and say, yes, send a retention sequence to this at-risk member segment. So really, really advanced stuff. And then what we could do with that then is ask member metrics, who are our highest value customers? What are their age ranges? I know, speaking to some membership organizations at MemberWise, you've got a load of members who've been members for years, but then you've got new breed of members, younger members joining, who have completely and utterly different needs to that segment of the traditional members who have been with you for years. So understanding those segments, member metrics helps with that. And then use AI to write persona-specific ads and nurture flows. So if I'm trying to sell a membership to a 24-year-old, the messaging would be considerably different to somebody who is 55 plus. So really using AI to understand that. And I'm a big believer of stop campaigns unless you can describe the target member in one sentence. Unless you know who you're targeting, what you're targeting, and what the messaging is, stop that campaign. It's wasted spend, and you can use these AI tools to become really specific. I've worked in a large scale enterprise customer who was targeting generic broad terms to an enterprise market, and they weren't getting any leads at all. Just by personalizing that experience, which I'll talk about later in joined up campaigns, they increased conversion rate by nearly 30%. So just by being personalized, you expect it every day on your mobile, if you go shopping on your phone, just using that data to understand not to target everyone, and personalizing that approach really improves performance and campaign activity. So the tools here use AI-wise as member metrics and ChatGPT. And we can, any of the tools you want to talk about at a later point, I'm happy to do that as well. Thanks, Chris.
Cool.
So mistake number 2 is having generic offers that often underperform. So what you need to think about is how you create an offer that truly converts and it often is a part of marketing strategy that gets overlooked. It's not just about having a call to action, it's about understanding the reason why someone would want to sign up to a membership. It's about making your offer stand out, and that will help a move towards more meaningful conversions for you. So what makes people say yes? Well, it all comes down to the psychology of value, specifically the 3 pillars of urgency, clarity, and relevance. With urgency, you need to find authenticity. Be careful not to fake scarcity, and instead come up with an authentic reason that someone would act now. This could be a limited time offer or a group-based program with a specific start date. When done right, it can really help overcome procrastination and helps to encourage that immediate action. The second part is clarity, and you need to have clarity within your offer. The target audience should instantly understand what they are going to get and how it will benefit them. This can be done by addressing their pain points and highlighting tangible outcomes they can expect from signing up to a membership. And the third pillar is relevance, and your offer should be completely relevant to your target audience. This includes addressing their specific needs and challenges. And the more you tailor your message to your audience, the more resonance it will have with them. So a quick example of this would be, instead of a more generic phrase of join our professional network, you would go more along the lines of secure your member rates and gain access to our premium professional development library, offer closes, and then a date. This adds urgency with a closing date, clarity on benefits, and has a strong relevance to your target audience. So how does AI come into this? Well, there's a few ways that it can help assist you with this. The first way is experimenting. And the key to creating a good offer is finding the right one for you. Something like Adobe Target helps you to optimize your key digital interactions by improving your conversions and retention. And this is done by using real-time visitor interactions to deliver the most relevant content. Therefore, by using this, you can help A/B test your messaging and find what works for your specific audience. And the second is analyzing data. So there's lots of tools that can analyze your CRM data. For example, HubSpot AI CRM can help turn raw customer data into actionable insights by gathering customer information, interactions, and behavioral data. It can then use AI to analyze this data, giving predictive lead scoring and automatically ranks prospects on their likelihood of converting by looking at historical trends. And by doing this, you really help to understand what makes people sign up, and this can help you to implement that in future. And then the third tool, if Chris, you can change slides, please, is an additional AI tool that we've created, and it's our free CTA analyzer. So a heads up, you'll need a free or paid ChatGPT account to use it, but it's really helpful in analyzing the CTAs on your website, reviewing them against these three pillars that I've mentioned: urgency, clarity, and relevance, and it provides you with actionable recommendations to create more personalized and powerful calls to action.
Great, thank you. Mistake number 3 is around opinion over data. So it's easy for membership organizations to rely too much on opinion and limited information, and using limited information to make decisions, whether that's through out-of-date knowledge or information only collected from a small subsection of your members. We tend to find that it's usually when you don't have a really kind of robust data strategy, it's usually the loudest members that maybe you base opinions on, or it's the ones that have the most problems. You actually miss those ones which are kind of where things are going well. They're just getting on with the membership and they're enjoying it. Obviously, you want more of those rather than the ones that are kind of always shouting up the problems. So having a more data-led strategy will help kind of understand your membership more completely. It will do, and it can make it hard to then make impactful decisions based on those opinion-based data or those opinions. So collecting data on every member touch point allows you to take action which has the real impact. Tools you're likely already using are kind of GA4. Microsoft Clarity, Hotjar, maybe your CRM, your AMS kind of is collecting that data. You have your portal kind of reports. Learning management system will create you reports. Your emails, obviously, you're getting data from that as well. So hopefully you're already in a place which has those reporting tools that are bringing those together on single dashboards, allowing you to kind of create a kind of more complete picture on that. But you can also, I guess, AI can enhance that again and give you more. So AI transforms opinion and data into actionable insights. So an example of how you can achieve this is through member engagement tracking and analysis. So pull together your engagement into a single source, whether tools like Member Metrics, Constant Contact, Lead CRM, HubSpot. So being able to kind of collect all those engagements into a single source, feed that into a single AI model. Again, we talked about public versus private earlier. So feeding that in all that data into a model, and then feed that AI model with your opinions, with kind of what is a good member, how do you help members, what problems do you have, kind of feed the AI model with all those solutions, and then you could use that to create those insights. So you can ask questions of that data. You can do what engagements are most popular. If they've opened one of the last 3 emails, what actions would they have taken? You can use machine learning to predict future outcomes, to start identifying the patterns in what actions new members took before joining, which only a few years ago, kind of conversations around machine learning and all of that was a really difficult thing to talk about and really expensive and really complicated to implement. Whereas now with this, with the kind of onset of AI over the last few years, access to that has become a lot more manageable. It does. And then you can use that data to identify and score leads likely to join. Again, going back to that machine learning, predicting outcomes, looking at engagement patterns, and then using AI to answer those questions, and then personalize those comms based on activity. We'll talk a little bit more about that later as well when it comes to the funnel side of things. So yeah, using, I think, opinion over data, being able to kind of use that, using AI to take those 2 kind of points and then really give you some actionable insights is kind of how we see a way forward on enhancing that visibility on what your members are up to and giving you that 100% complete picture rather than just those noisy members.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I think just listening to the last 3 mistakes, there's a lot of overlap in terms of all these mistakes do tend to overlap each other. So, you know, it is important that all 5 of them are addressed in order to really enhance that membership recruitment strategy. So nothing that annoys me more than this mistake number 4 as a seasoned marketer, and it's disconnected campaigns. And I think, you know, not all, but a lot of membership organizations can run a fragmented campaign across channels. You know, ads, emails, you've got websites, you have your member events, CRMs, all operate in silos. And I know, speaking to a lot of membership organizations, that they run in a portal here, a CRM there, and some of them want to be standalone, but really a fragmented campaign. And an example of this is someone might click on an Instagram ad for one of your events. They visit the homepage and bounce. They go on lunch. A week later, they then get a completely unrelated email about something entirely, about the fees or something. So you haven't factored in that user's behavior to the communication that then goes back out to them. So really fragmented in that sense. And why is this important? I think your members experience everything as one brand, not disconnected departments. You can see our backgrounds here. We've all coordinated this morning to have our backgrounds the same, so being on brand, not fragmented there. Inconsistent messaging erodes trust. I know if I'm served an ad and then I get to the landing page and the ad doesn't really match what I've got to, then I really think, what am I doing here? And I bounce, and you know, it takes a lot for me then to go back to that company or become a member. So the growth element of fragmented campaigns, the trust element, is really serious there. And if your systems and teams aren't aligned, your member experience is neither. And very much the mission of what Chris talked about at the start, the 10 million user interactions have been valuable. This is a huge part of that. We want, as a partner to membership organizations, we want to give that real, you know, value added experience to members across, you know, recruitment we're talking about today, but there's other areas in growth as well when it comes to members at risk, retention, etc., which we will be doing future webinars on as well. So an example of this as well, so a solution. Next slide, please, Chris. So an example of this is we could use Segment or HubSpot to track activity across every touch point. This allows you to understand behavioral-based segments to target people, then plug member metrics in as a central insight hub, mapping intent, lead scoring, and spotting patterns. Me and Chris were having a bit of fun analysing some data from member metrics, and we said, who are the members at risk? And it used a load of different data points across different mechanisms, portals, etc., and served up the top 10 members at risk based on a load of different factors. It was really interesting. And then we can automate prompts to ChatGPT to audit your campaigns, flag broken or mismatched messaging. Something which I've used, this is just one tool. Then if your member or potential member has contacted you, downloaded something, their email is in the system, we can use Munity then to personalize your web in real time. So your homepage could have an offer specifically for a 25-year-old if they land there, or if it's, like I mentioned earlier, a 60-year-old, or if it's male, female, if it's a family membership, if it's a corporate membership, the whole homepage experience of your membership website can be updated in real time. And this personalization using AI behavior and modeling can then fire off personalized emails. And so it's only the AI advancements here work to connect campaigns and connect personalization and connect messaging. And then automatically hands off and follows up using tools like Zapier to connect everything seamlessly. So you can connect via APIs, different systems. You can even service things in your LMS system, push notifications via apps, welcome messages on your portals to all be in sync for that individual person or individual member. Now, this happens all the time on your mobile if you go shopping and you see things in the personalized journey. But this is just bringing this kind of technology to the membership organizations. And, I'd love to benchmark before this kind of program was put in place to a membership recruitment strategy, and afterwards, and see the improvements in engagement and recruitment as well. So really exciting stuff. There's a list of tools on the right-hand side. Please check them out. Happy to answer any questions on them. But yeah, we should be looking at these kind of things for your personalization and connecting those campaigns as well. Thanks, Chris.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the kind of mistake number 5 is around failure to manage that nurture funnel. So potential members will be engaging with you every day, reading your blogs, liking your social posts, watching your free webinars, kind of similar things to kind of what Joe was talking about there. But this is your chance to support them through this early part of the journey. And by getting this right, it allows you to align the value proposition with their goals. You also get to see your pipeline of potential members by being able to nurture this funnel, have visibility of this funnel, and then obviously increasing conversion rates. I know over the years, funnel kind of has maybe less popular as a term nowadays, and I kind of get it. And whether you call it a funnel, whether you call it a journey, whether kind of there's lots of different terminology for this, but ultimately understanding the kind of steps that people can go through, and they may come in at different points. They're not always coming right at the top of that funnel, but yeah, it's just understanding that people do go through that journey, and being able to just nurture that, I think, is a really good opportunity. And again, AI gives you the option to enhance that journey. It does, based on personalization. So as it says here, use AI to create that hyper personalized journey. I think we've talked a long time marketing in around kind of segmentation and personas and things like that, but even they still group lots of members together, different member types together. They do, and that is still a valid way of kind of communicating, because sometimes you need to communicate at that level, but where you can, you need to start looking at that hyper personalized experience for each individual member. So an example of this is around member scoring and automation. So kind of step 1 here is around pull together all your engagements into a single source, as we talked about earlier. So having that ability to kind of track the individual engagements. And then, but the key here is then give each engagement a score. It is so downloading a gated piece of gated content, maybe a 5, attending a actual physical event, maybe a 20 sort of thing, because there's a lot of commitment from their side. But just reading, clicking, opening an email, maybe a 1 sort of thing. So you start looking at building out that profile of each individual member, and then you can tally those scores for those potential members, and as they engage with you. So, and this can give you you can start then triggering actions based on activity you can do. So if they download a report, they watch one of your webinars, again, that score's building, those actions have happened. Let's personalize that messaging, which kind of goes on to the next point, is around using an AI kind of agent to analyze those individual engagements and suggest additional content. So there's a way here of kind of asking AI to go, okay, what's valuable in our membership? What have they already engaged with so far? How do I align those two and personalize a message and maybe potentially an email to them, to kind of give them really precise and hyper personalized experience, so it really connects them, ultimately really kind of helping to drive that kind of conversion rate effectively, and then using the scoring on current members as well, to predict at-risk members. So that scoring can be a really clear way of understanding the experience that each individual member is getting, and again, tying that with automations really gives you a powerful way of managing the experience of those members, and setting out. So the next point there is identifying the optional kind of pre-join engagements. So the optimal, sorry. So it's looking at kind of what is it that people are taking, what actions are people taking beforehand, before they join, and then start feeding that into your marketing activity to go, actually, we're getting real good success based on the data on these particular, if they watch 2 webinars, they're 27% more likely to join type scenarios, conversations you can have, rather than it just being, okay, let's just run this next event and then we'll see, and then we'll score it at the end. You can start actually predicting exactly what could happen. So having these tools around you to measure and analyze and view that data just allows you to take action, and actionable insights, I guess, is kind of what we're talking about here. So that's the kind of top 5 mistakes that we see, and how we can use AI. So to kind of just flip that around a little bit, kind of what are those top 5 actions then we should be talking about? So use targeting in your outreach, so really get to use AI to understand the targeting, and make sure you're outreaching in a really clear way, so that you're aligning your value to their goals. And then no more generic offers, as Mary was talking about. We'll look at those kind of different points, and making sure that offers, again, are aligned to the specific. You'll notice here there's a lot of kind of personalized kind of messaging here is what we're talking about. So using data to guide that strategy, that's how you start looking at how to find out what those personalized messages are. Connect up your campaigns so people feel like they've got a kind of a seamless kind of single journey, again, personalized around their needs. And obviously, as I said, nurture those prospective members through the process, through that funnel, and yeah, guide them through the way, help them not get lost. So they're the kind of 5 key actions we're talking about. I would love to, if you get a chance to just drop any particular out of those 5, which one resonates most, which one do you think would have the biggest impact in your organization, and yeah, and kind of which one do you think would be great to use? Any questions kind of that people might have regards to anything that's been covered today? Always good to kind of give a chance for questions. Not seeing anything in the questions, which is fine. Brilliant. Okay. Final slide then is just to talk about some of the, we talked about a few different tools today. So first tool is the membership CTA reviewer that Mary mentioned. So that's, as you say, you'll need a free or a paid ChatGPT account to access that, but it's a great tool to analyze your pages. It is. We also have a benchmark, ability to benchmark your member recruitment. So get a score against that. Again, free tool. Feel free to just log on and access that. We'll be sharing these. I think Joe's putting those into the chat now, and we'll be sharing these the presentation with you as well in the future. And member metrics has been mentioned. Great tool there to allow you to kind of track those engagements and use AI to predict some of the challenges and kind of get to go to insights. And finally, we do have a digital workshop where if you're interested in, it's a kind of an hour-long session, you get access to our team, we'll work with you for an hour, we'll kind of, and just give you that, maybe that kind of third-party kind of review and ability to kind of sense check, and maybe, and part of that we make suggestions. So feel free to follow that link, and it kind of explains, we create like a full report on maybe the topics we talked about and some suggestions from our team based around these topics, based around other areas that we are kind of are experts in the business. Cool. Thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, it was, hope you got some value from that, and hopefully, and again, you should get an email with a copy of this video, and we will be running future webinars, and we will be on different topics. So yeah, looking for any feedback, feel free to drop us an email. Thank you.
Thanks all. Bye.
Thank you.